Good evening, everyone. I'm writer Coach Tony, and welcome back to my channel. So, I'm going to make another video vlog today. It's a book review. So, I finished another book, and the title is this one. This is the book. It's In My Shoes. It's a memoir written by Tamara Mellon. So, if you're not into fashion, um, you wouldn't know her. But if you are familiar with the fashion in the early 2000s, Tamara Mellon kind of founded the Jimmy Choo brand. She established the Jimmy Choo brand, which was heavily advertised in TV shows like Sex and the City, and became a very, very popular brand. However, right now I don't know where it stands anymore because the fashion world has been democratized, and the shoes that the ladies are wearing are a bit different anymore. I don't think stilettos are still in, no? Not because I think they're not comfortable enough, and today's women prefer comfort. So, but anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that because I'm not an expert on the trends of women's shoes rather. So anyway, I'm just going to concentrate on the book. Um, so it's a memoir by Tamara Mellon, and it's an interesting read. However, I was bogged down by some details of her life which were kind of distracting. Distracting in a way because it took away um, what should have been the centerpiece of her work, which is her achievement in building the brand of Jimmy Choo. So, to those who don't know Jimmy Choo, he's a Malaysian who went to the UK, and then he's a cobbler actually. So, he makes shoes, he makes designs, custom designs, but his worldview was very limited. So, what Tamara did was use his cachet and then built the brand around his name. So she was able to do that even without the full cooperation of Jimmy. She was able to build the brand Jimmy Choo. Um, it's still available here in the Philippines, but I don't know if it's selling like hotcakes. No. So the story is very inspiring, uh, and there are many lessons that I have learned, no? Which I could use in my own the way I run things, no, here. Number one, Tamara was always looking for opportunities. No? She she knew what to do, so when she saw the opportunity, she did not hesitate to grab those. No, um, I think the common mistake of many people is that we fail to spot the opportunity, and when it comes, we are not ready to pounce on it, to grab the opportunity. So the idea is always to be ready, at least to have the minimum skills, no? So that when that opportunity comes, uh, you can easily capitalize on it and earn from it. So that's a major lesson I've learned. Number two is to develop your own taste, no? Because Tamara really knew what she wanted, know the design. She was very meticulous about the design and the how the shoes were sculpted and made. So she did not squint on quality. So without the quality, she wouldn't be able to sell those shoes at a very prime rate. Because I think it was the prices were around 500 euros, now, which is a bit steep even for normal Filipinos. So um, but people were willing to buy because of the cachet the brand Jimmy Choo had built, no? Because even before She met Jimmy. Jimmy was already featured in magazines like Vogue because women who wanted to custom fit their shoes knew him, knew about his skill. So a lot of these women quietly go to his cobbling shop in London to have their shoes refitted to fit their specifications. So in a way, that's what Tamara did, but in her case, she added her own taste, no? Because she loved to travel, she loved to shop, she loved to browse around the markets. So she got her ideas there, and from those ideas, she built on those ideas and incorporated it into the design of her shoes. So that made the shoes very desirable to many women because it made them look sexy, no? And with the endorsement of Candice Bushnell, the writer of Sex and the City, plus the endorsement of the major star of the show, Sarah Jessica Parker, the brand really exploded, no? Which was good for her. Um, so that's the number two. You have to seek opportunities and be ready for it. Number three, I guess, is to um, take those distractions out of your life, no? Because she had many problems. No? She had lose her husband. Her mother was very unsupportive. Her only pillar of support was her dad, no, who really supported her and gave her the seed money. So it's very important that you identify the people who can help you, and those who cannot help, just um, set them aside because they will just destroy your dream. So in her case, she pursued her dream even in the toughest family situations. She was able to separate her responsibility as a sister, as a daughter, and then as a mother. And then she developed her own style of managing things so that she can run her business and take care of her child as well. You know? Next takeaway from this is identify the right people to work with you. So, very early on, she was able to identify people who could help in her business. She did make mistakes, like her dad also made mistakes, but those were taken care of, but at a very heavy price. But she was also able to identify people who, photographers, stylists, um, shoe designers, uh, art directors, because in the world of fashion, you should be able to create a fantasy, no? A fantasy world which would sell the brand to women, and its fantasy world has to be relatable to them, no, not overtly sexual, not tacky, but classy enough because that's the brand she's trying to build, no. She wants to compete with Manolo Blahnik and top shoe designers of Italy. And then the only way to do that is to create a narrative, no, of her brand, which would um, show off its quality workmanship, its beautiful design, and of course, create the image of a Jimmy Choo woman. Now, what is a Jimmy Choo woman? How does she look? How does she dress? How does she entertain her guests? And how does she move around high society? Um, so that's the next giveaway. Number five, she was able to identify events which would really help her, like the Oscar Awards. So everybody knows that the Oscars are kind of the Super Bowl of fashion. No? So every year, designers, including shoe designers, because before she told the story that um, shoe designers were not that important, but nowadays, stylists work out a look, no, from the clothes, the jewelry, up to the shoes, no. So what Tamara did was to have an assistant, and then she's also there to give away samples of her shoes, so that as many women presenters in the Oscars can wear it, and of course they can always say the brand, no, when they're in the red carpet, and that endorsement alone is equal to billions of dollars of sales. No? If you have the right person wearing the right outfit and the right shoe. So it's very important that they are able to identify, um, you know, the top actresses who are visible enough in the red carpet as well as in the Oscar awards themselves. Because as I said, the telecast is worth billions of dollars in the women's fashion industry. So, with that, um, the only drawback in the book is I skipped the parts where it told about her abuse, her abusive parent, her abusive mother. I did not want to read that part, and of course, there was the drug taking and the endless partying, so it was all mindless stuff. So I did not read that part because it was distracting. I just concentrated on the parts where she was building the business, no? And I'm actually so proud of what she has achieved. Um, she is um, a template where many women entrepreneurs can follow when they build their dream brand. It's not easy, especially in today's competition. But right now, with the internet and the social media, I think it's easier to reach your customers. So it's important that you are able to identify them and show to them what your brand really is. So with that, thank you for listening to my book review. This is the book again, In My Shoes by Tamara Mellon. Um, she built the brand Jimmy Choo shoes, and it's a very fast read for me because I skipped the parts which were about, you know, um, the abuse part. I just concentrated on how the business part is. So I highly recommend that you read at least one business book a month so you can get inspired, especially if you're into business. Um, and you can learn lessons along the way. So, with that, please subscribe to my channel, Writer Coach Tony, and please follow me on my Instagram, my Facebook, and my Twitter. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, and take care.